boy and a girl. And he would be replaced by one Hunapu, who is a compassionate leader, a leader that believes in cooperation and spirituality, not materialism. And so this is the time. What the Mayans tell us is that this is a metaphor for moving from a time when we've all been ruled by seven macaw, by greed, by materialism, by brutality. And we've got to be the twin heroes, boy and girl, we, the men and women in this room, the men and women across this country, across this world, coming together to sever that head and to produce a new era, the era of cooperation. Yes. Are you ready for this? You can do better than that. Are you ready for this? Are you really ready for this? All right, we're doing it. And we have come to understand that the robber barons have stolen our country. They've stolen the world. And we ain't going to put up with it anymore. We're going to take back our country and the world, aren't we? You bet. So what is this world and how can we take it back? What is the process for moving into this? My book Hoodwink talks a lot about this, and I'll just try to summarize it here. And I also want to say, before I forget later on, that you can keep in touch with me at johnperkins.org and subscribe to my newsletter, which comes out twice a month. Please, you have to actually subscribe. I'm on Facebook, and also you can Twitter me at economic_hitman. So let's keep in touch after this. So we are at a world now. We are at a time in history when our elected officials no longer hold the power. And this is something we're really beginning to recognize. During a lot of my lifetime, our elected officials wrote the laws. They don't anymore. The corporate lobbyists write the laws and pass them through the elected officials. It's the big corporations, the heads of the big multinational corporations, what I call the corporatocracy, that is the new form of the emperor. This is not a conspiracy theory. These people don't have to get together and meet secretly or in any way. Most of them never even meet each other. But they're all driven by one single goal. And that goal is to maximize profits regardless of the social and environmental costs. This is a new goal. When I went to business school in the 60s, I was taught that a good CEO makes a decent rate of return for his investors, and he has to take really good care of his employees, health care, pension funds, and he should take really good care of his suppliers and his customers, and should be a good community citizen. Pay his taxes, pay more than his taxes, take good care of the community. That all changed in the 70s when I was an economic hitman, and Milton Friedman of the Chicago School of Economics said, no. The only responsibility of business is to maximize profits, regardless of the social and environmental costs. Ronald Reagan bought into it in 1980, big time, and Margaret Thatcher and many other world leaders, and every president of the United States, Democrat and Republican alike since then, has bought into it. And so we've reached a point in history. We reached a point in history where, let's say a couple of hundred years ago, for the most part, geopolitics was run by religious organizations. Then that shifted to governments, and some governments were democracies, some were totalitarian, but the governments kind of control things. And now we've reached a new point in time when it's the big corporations. So we might look at the world as this globe with roughly 200 countries, and for much of history, certain countries have had a lot of power. The United Kingdom, the Soviet Union, the United States. But today, we look at the same globe, and the real geopolitics is controlled by what we might see as huge clouds drifting around this planet that know no national boundaries. These are the big corporations. They call all the shots on the planet.